Good morning, students. Today I am going to start the second chapter of the Aliening Planet, the Green Movement's role, and I have done the first chapter, which you can see previously. Now let me tell you what we have done in our previous video. The thing is that in this chapter, the writer Nani raises an issue towards the deteriorating health of the earth. Now, deteriorating health means unwell or sickness of the earth. So, as a human being, that we have been exploiting the natural resources from decades, and presently the condition had made the environment critical. Now you can see the condition of this earth is critical, and here the writer is talking about that the earth is like a patient and whose health is decline, and it is our duty to improve it, right? So let's start line by line explanation discussion. So here we have stopped. We were talking about this Dr. Meyer. Okay, going further, it has been well said that the forest precedes mankind, deserts follow. It has been said, it is said that, or it is believed that the forest precedes mankind. It means forests and deserts come first, and then after comes mankind. This is the preceding. Precedes means that the position, which position comes first. So the forest and deserts come first, and then comes the mankind. Okay, the world's ancient patrimony of tropical forest is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. Patrimony means property inherited from father or ancestor. Now you can see that the world's ancient patrimony, that is the I told you that inherited lands or the property or tropical forest, that in short the forest and this ancient patrimony, that rate is decreasing at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. Yearly, this million, 40 to 50 million acres, that land is decreasing. And the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. Now, deprives means prevent a person from using something. Now, because of this dung, by using for some except the fertilizer or for natural using, they're using for any machine, for using for company, for using the for you builders are using this property. So that are burning, that is burning the soil, and that is why that is they lost that natural fertilizer. The World Bank estimates that five-fold increases in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope with the expected fuelwood demand in the year 2000. Now here the writer is talking about that 2020, or here they were talking about 2000, it is already gone. That they are saying that till 2000 we have to plant forest, as we have need of this forest for the fuel wood, for the fuel for our fire, and for any other things we need forest and this wood. So that is why this is our demand कि कितना है, five fold increase करनी है what the forestations we have to do. Okay, going further, James Pett, the president of the World Resources Institute, said the other day. Now here, who is the president of the World Resources Institute, said that we were saying that we are losing the forest at an acres a second. In a 1 second, we are losing and 1 acre that land, or you can say the forest, every year, but it is much closer to an acre and a half of a second. Now it is going very closer कि अभी हम थोड़े close हो जा रहे हैं कि इन second में acre की जगह पे acre and a half means 1.5 acre that forest is decreasing, or you can say that we are losing. Article 48A of the Constitution of India provides that the states shall endeavor to protect and improve the environment to safeguard the forest and wildlife of the country. Now, this is we know that there are so many rules and regulations you can see in the constitutions of India, but this they are also saying that this is just a writing, or you can say the articles which remains in a book also, rules remains as a rule also, nobody is following it. So here this is written in this constitutions that people of state, now the this constitution is talking about to the state, that the state should protect and improve the environment of their state and to safeguard the forest and the wildlife of the country. Now this is just on the paper that nobody was doing it, and you can see right now what are the situation of our wildlife country, wildlife situations and the forest. But what causes endless anguish is the fact that laws are never respected nor enforced in India. Yes, this is the sentence which I have told you, that this is just on paper, and this is anguish. Anguish means we become angry on these laws, that these laws are only for the rules or on a paper. Nobody is respecting the laws which is written on the constitutions of India. For instance, the constitution says that casteism, untouchability and bonded labor shall be abolished, but they flourish shamelessly even after 44 years of operation of the constitution. Here, this is the writer is giving the example of how we are not respecting the law just the way. Right now you can see that in constitution it is written that casteism, now you know that what is casteism. We are believing in caste, that we are not believing in other caste. This is the casteism in school or in a company, in job, wherever you go, you can see the casteism, and people who are untouchable, who are from lower caste and who are not from your caste, they are exploited, and they are labored like in every space. Though it is written, but nobody is following and nobody is respecting this laws. Untouchability, that this is also going right now after 44 years of operation, and bonded labor shall be abolished. Now this should be gone, and this should be not operated in the India, but thus this is the same fullness, shamelessly, that people are believing in this casteism and untouchability and child labor and casteism and discrimination. You can see that on the basis of the caste wherever you go. So this is my humble request to all of you, whenever after completing your study, whenever you are on a higher position and wherever you work, please maintain a humanity. Everybody is human. There is no discrimination according to the caste, according to the untouchability, according to the any discrimination. You please don't follow that discrimination which you are seeing and which you get from your forefathers, right? Whatever you are watching right now, your fathers and your parents and your elders, please don't imitate them blindly. Think on it whether they are doing right or not, right? So this is my humble request. Whenever you go on a workplace, don't believe in this. Everybody is similar. Everybody is equal. And the most important thing, from which caste and from where you are coming, when you are asking some people, that is a really very pathetic and shameful act was done by the Indians. So please don't judge a person on their caste and other discrimination. Okay, thank you. Next, a recent report of our Parliament's Estimates Committee has highlighted the near catastrophic depletion of India's forest over the last 4 decades. Now here, the parliament that they have also highlighted near the catastrophic depletion. Catastrophic depletion means a harmful reduction in a number of something. Now, किसमें reduction हुआ है? In Indian forest over last 4 years. 4 years से जो depletion हुआ है, right? उसकी एक highlighted report parliament में वो लोग they have reported in a parliament. Now, have you seen this committee in a parliament? I don't understand this constitutions and the committee what they are doing. Some of are not educated, some of are from which area they come, we don't know, and they are giving the reports on this. This is just on paper reporting. We have done this, but physically when you go there, nothing has happened. So that is the current scenario of our India. So you are the youth, and it is in your hand that you have to change the scenario of India and the beliefs, or you can say the superstitions which is going on right now. I told you this is the superstitions and the wrong belief that people are, this is just a law, people are just following this, and still this is going on in our India. So we have to deplete that, not the forest. We have to deplete this law. We have to follow this, and we have to deplete the casteism, untouchability, any discrimination, power to girl, respect girl. Now, what are the situation right now? You understand the girls are not safe in this India. Now, India got the very first rank in this, that the girls are not safe in India. So you just imagine that this type of things are important. We have to concentrate on instead of these other things that we are concentrating right now. India, according to reliable data, is losing its forests at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. Now, here, how much forest we are losing? That's a 3.7 million. Large areas officially designated as forest land are already virtually treeless. Now, designated forests are already virtually treeless. Now आप virtually देखो तो वहां पे treeless ही दिखेगा. The actual loss of forest is estimated to be about 8 times the rate indicated by the government of statesmen. Distorting means that is the deform or disfigure, right? तो वो अगर अभी गवर्नमेंट का जो स्टैटिक्स है उसमें अगर 8 times रेट detect कर रहा है, that is the loss of forest according to the area. A 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. Now here one picture was taken, or 3 years study के बाद, that is one United Nations UN ने एक study की थी, and through the satellites and aerial photography, and warns that the whole world's environment is depleting and deteriorating so badly that it will be critical of the 88 countries investigated. 88 countries को investigate करने के बाद they have decided that the condition of the environment is deteriorating so badly, so we have to work on it. There can be no doubt that the growth of the world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. Now here the writer is talking about that why this happening is, why we need so much thing from the nature. Why? Because the overpopulation. The world population is one of the strongest factor, and that is why this is very depressing or very disturbing thing for the future of human society. Now, this is also one alarming thing that we have to understand about the populations of the whole world, right? Though you are from any caste and whatever your caste is saying, that please understand that population is very important thing. If you have 2-3 babies at home, how can you give the proper education to them? That is also one thing. How can you give them the if it is impossible in this time, impossible to give them the proper education, proper food, proper nourishment, right? So the one factor is, if you have one boy or one girl, one child, then you can give the proper amount of everything, educations and nourishment and proper time also you can give. So I'm talking about that, if whatever is seen by you around you, but you have to learn one thing that, oh, we have to stop this overpopulation. It took mankind more than a million years to reach the first billion, right? So million years के बाद mankind first billion reach the first billion का हमारा population हो जाएगा. That was the world population around the year 1800. 1800 की population की बात कर रहे हैं. Now by the year 1900, the second billion was added. You just imagine. And the 20th century has added another 3.7 billion, and the present world population is estimated for 5.7 billion. You just imagine that how is the population in. Every 4 years, the world population increases by 1 million. Every year there is the increment of 1 million population. Fertility falls as incomes rise. Education spreads and health improves. Now fertility falls. अगर fertility means the population falls, so income भी rise होगी. Education, yeah, what I have told you, that if in a home you have two three babies, that you are impossible to manage the income, manage the education and health, right? But if you in a house, if there is only two children or one children, it is very easy to manage the income, education and health. This development is the base catastrophe. Now there is the thing that development can be possible, but development itself may not be possible if the present increase in number continues. But the development will not possible if there is the increment of 1 million population every year. It continues, then there will be no possibility of development or in all over the world. Going further, the rich get richer, the poor budget children, which condemns them to remain poor. Now here what happen, if you are well educated and from good families, and then they have this education, and from that they understand that we have only two children, and they become richer and richer. If we are talking about poor, the poor budget means give life to children. The poor, they have two three babies and they give life to children, which condemns them, find guilty of something and remains poor. Poor remains poor because they have two three babies and they don't have any saving, and everything whatever they earn, they spend it on their education and health and food and everything. So they remain poor, and rich gets richer. More children does not mean more work. Merely more people without work. Now here the people have a mentality that if you have a more children, then you can send them for work and you can get more money or more income. But this is not the reality. More children does not mean more worker. They are not worker. Merely more people without work, right? So instead of if you have two children, that is enough to manage the house. It is not suggested that human beings be treated like a cattle and compulsorily sterilized, right? It is doesn't mean that if you are thinking about the animals, right? Cattle means that is the cow, buffaloes, and sheep, and that is the cattle that we have. So human beings should not be treat like a cattle, because what happen in animals, they have two three babies, doggies have two three babies, and everybody has it. We are not the cattle, that we should not be treated like a cattle, that is sterilized, make free from bacteria or other microorganisms, that compulsorily we have to sterilize our human being from this mentality. But there is no alternative to voluntarily family planning without introducing an element of coercion. Now, that is no any way, that is alternative. Voluntarily means done or given one's free will. Now, there are so many laws are there. If you have a girl child, then you can this benefit. If you have two children, that you will get this benefit. There are so many laws are available, but people are not understanding it, and family planning they were not doing, and conscience force, right? And this is the element which we cannot force on them, because this is the way we have to understand as a parent, as a family, that we should stop the overpopulation. We should think about the family planning, because if we give any alternative voluntary family planning जो आता है वो हम दे रहे हैं, that is the thing, that if you have a girl then you can have a free education, two girl child then you can have you can get the admission in KVS na? So there are so many rules are available, but people are not thinking about that. The choice is really between control of population and perpetual of poverty. Now keep going. Now there is a choice. Choice किसकी बात, control of population. You have to control the population. और दूसरी choice ये है keep going of poverty. Otherwise अगर हम control नहीं करेंगे then the poverty will increase. It will keep going and going and going poverty. The population of India is estimated to be 920 million today. अभी कितनी है 9 million, 920 million, more than the entire population of Africa, South America put together. दोनों को साथ में लगाए तब जाके हमारी होगी. Now you just imagine that you are the future generation. Now you have to think in whatever, from whatever caste you come, whatever your religion is saying, you have to stick on your thinking, your education. No one familiar with the condition in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry huntments unless population controls is given topmost priority. Huntments means collection of herd. Now, everybody is familiar that, and there is no doubt that the India in this situation, and there is no hope that there is a hungry. Recently, there was one news that the in hunger also we get higher number. India got hungry in a higher number. In a girls safety we got a good number. In a hungry we got the good numbers. In poverty we got a good number. In GDP we got a good number. So here you can say that where our country is. So unless population control is given topmost priority, if we are giving the topmost priority to the population, then we can have a good condition of India, and there will be no poverty. For the first time in India human history, we see a transcendenting concern, the survival not just for the people but of the planet. Transcendenting concern means a concern that existed for a very long time and passed down for one generation to another. This is the first time in human history that we are talking about the survival not for the people, for what, for the planet. This is the first time in the history we are thinking about the survival of the planet. Okay, we have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of our existence. हमने हमारा holistic view देखा है आपको, या आगे हमने डिस्कस किया. So we have started an holistic view, that is the meaningful view we have started to protect this environment. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. Okay, so it doesn't mean that the environmental problem necessarily हमारा डेथ की बात कर रही है, but if we are not taking control or we are not thinking about the environmental problem, then definitely it is signals our death of the humanity. It is our passport for future, and you can see that environmental problem or environment is our passport for the future. And to have a future life, we have to concentrate on the environmental problem, and we have to find out the solution of it. The emerging new world vision has user in the era of responsibility. User means guide someone somewhere. Now, right now, the world vision is that they are giving us a new view or somewhere for our responsibility. What are your responsibility? Right now, people are thinking so much. Let me tell you one thing, that I have done my PhD on this ecofeminism, which is related with this. And right now, as a mother, I am also telling my son to save the electricity, to save the water, everything, whatever is needed to him. Okay, and also teaching him the equality, whether he is a boy, so I am teaching him how to wash the uh, utensils, how to do the that home household work, as well as the eating, right? उसको eating में मैं नहीं सिखा रही हूँ. Why? Because after getting married, whenever he go, whatever the girl, whoever girl will come to him, that he can be understand the importance and can give the respect to the girl. So that is my responsibility to teach my children. So here, this is the reason that giving this is your responsibility. Also, we have to respect everything. Even we have to respect girl as well as the environment. It is a holistic view and ecological view. I told you that this is the ecological view, seeing the world as an integrated whole rather than the disoriented collection of a part. Right now, this is the holistic view. We have accepted that the ecology or the earth as a living organism, and this is the depleting earth, and we have to concentrate uh, on the ecological view and have the solution of that problems. Okay, so we are not thinking about that the earth is one part of desolated collection of a part. No, but earth is a living organism. And okay, going further, industry has a most crucial role to play in this a new era of responsibility. Now, as a family, these are our responsibility to think about how to protect environment and earth. On the other hand, if we are talking about, this is the biggest issue that industry is the crucial, playing a crucial role in this responsibility. But we know, I told you that these are the laws, because I have seen that the companies have signed the memo, right? That is the letter that we are not going to harm the earth, and this, there are so many letters are that. But in reality, this is just on paper. In reality, they are destroying and they are exploiting the earth by hook or by crook. What a transformation would be affected if more businessmen shared a view of chairman of Dow Pound, Mr. Edgar S. Woolward, who 5 years ago declared himself to be a company's chief environmental officer. Now here, the writer is saying that if every businessman shared a view, just like Mr. Edgar, who is the company's chief environmental officer. Now what he said? He said that our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we excel in environmental performance. Now we have to lead our manufacture require according to the environmental performance. हमारा जो environmental performance है उस पे ध्यान रख के we have to lead our manufacturer. Of all the statements made by Margaret Thatcher during the years of her prime ministership, none of has passed decisively into the current coin of English usage as her felicitous word. Okay, here decisively means clear and definitive. Here the writer is talking about Margaret Thatcher, who is the prime minister of who is the prime minister. Here कहाँ की लिखी है वो नहीं लिखा. And none has passed so decisively into the current coin of English usage. Nobody has done except this Margaret. Felicious means well chosen, and no generation has a free hold on this permanent tenure of land or property. Okay, किसी के पास permanent जनरेशन के पास फ्री होल्ड अर्थ नहीं है. All we have is a life tenancy. Tenancy means the possession of land, right? लाइफ की ही पोजीशन है हमारे पास. We don't have any freehold on this earth. That the earth is not our property, right? With full repairing lease, right? And we are not. If we have this land, that we have to agree for the full repairing lease. That we have to repair this earth. In the words of Mr. Lester Brown, we have not inherited this earth. Now we have not inherited. Inherited means आपके forefather से आपके पास आता है. If this house is from my father, so from my forefather to my father, from my father to me. So that is inherited. So here Mr. Lester is saying that your this earth is not inherited from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. हमने हमारा चिल्ड्रन के पास से उसको borrowed किया है. So the writer is talking about the inherited, that the earth is not belong to us. We belong to the earth. That's what he is saying that. And this is the very important thing the writer is talking about, that the green movement that he was talking about in the first. There has been no looking back as the environment has been successfully educating people about the conservation of the environment. The writer is talking about the conservation of the environment and deteriorating health of the earth. And this is our duty, that the earth is a patient and its health is decline, and it is our duty to improve it. And we are the biggest and the world's most dangerous animal, and this is we. And we must see the world as a whole and not dissociated parts. And I have told that it is borrowed it from our future generation, right? And that is why the writer is talking about the decline of the earth and how we will resolve this problem. I hope you understand it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Write down the question answer properly.